Yesterday afternoon, the Heel Tough Blog podcast got a chance to talk to former Carolina offensive lineman and current Saskatchewan Rough Rider offensive lineman Travis Bond.
Hey, Travis, how's it going, man?
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
Good. Yeah, nothing too much, man. Just, hey, thank you so much for doing this interview, man. And, yeah, I mean, Tar Heel Nation's going to love this, man.
Great, man. I love it.
So, yeah. The first thing I guess we could start out with is, definitely just talk a little bit about your career at Carolina and just some of those memories really that stick out to you.
Man, Carolina, man, we had a lot of different things going on at one point. I mean, we had a lot of good wins throughout my time there, and some great teams. Unfortunately, my last year we didn't go to the ACC championship due to the NCAA ban or something we had. But other than that, the times at Carolina, man, I'll never replace them with anything else.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. You played on that offensive line. One of the things they always talk about with the offensive line is just how tight-knit that group was. How tight-knit were you, especially being with guys like Jonathan Cooper and James Hurst, Russell Bodine? You had a lot of guys that ended up going to the NFL. How tight-knit as a group were you guys?
Oh, we were real tight, man. We would go and out to eat, us and some of the other guys on other positions, mainly the quarterbacks and running backs, but for the most part, we did a lot of things together. We would party together and, just watch movies, go to the movies. We did a lot of things together. Brennan was always the one who suggested movies, and Cooper was the one who always wanted to do stuff like, going to a basketball game or something. Mm-hmm. But we always spent a lot of time together. That what made us so close and caused us, be so successful on the field because we knew each other on and out the field. So it made it even better. Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, definitely. You get drafted, in the 7th round by Minnesota. Just kind of talk us through that experience and that feeling when you got that call from the Vikings.
Man, it was the longest 3 days of my life, going through that whole draft process. I tell somebody it was a bittersweet moment, just a long wait. And then finally getting that phone call that third day, Minnesota had called me and asked me if I wanted to be a part of that organization. And for sure I said yes. A lot of joy and a lot of tears from the family members. I might have shared a few tears. So it was a happy moment for me. And so, just going through that process, like I tell some of the younger guys now, enjoy the process, don't let the process overwhelm you. It might not work in your favor or the way you want it, but, go out there and make a name for yourself. Because at the end of the day, it's still a job. You're competing against people around the nation and trying to get the same job that you want. Millions want to get the opportunity to be in that predicament, but, it's not for everybody. That process there, it's a bittersweet moment. So, I don't want to live it again, but, it was a life-changing experience for me.
Yeah, and then, later on that year you end up going to the Carolina Panthers. Being from the state of North Carolina, playing college ball in the state of North Carolina, how good did it feel to be back in the state?
It felt good because, a lot of familiar faces, very familiar with the team just because it's an in-state team. So it was just one of those things like, I'm living out my dream, playing in state. You got people behind you, people in your corner. And the coach staff was really good. And a lot of my teammates that was with them when I was with the Panthers that year, I'm still connected with them. Michael White, he's actually about to play with me now in the CFL. So the NFL and CFL is kind of the same. Like, football is just brotherhood, just like another fraternity. And so, being in Carolina that year, it was awesome, man.
Yeah, and you talked about it. Now you're in the CFL, and you're just having a great career out there, man. In 2016 with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, you go out there and end up actually making the CFL All-Star game. Just, talk about that year and how great it felt to have that success and be selected for the All-Star game.
Man, that year, my first year in Winnipeg, it was so different for me, with the rules, and, it's 12-man football, and the field is bigger. But to me, it's so similar to, like, the NFL or American football. It's not really a big difference, and people think it's so much different. I was not about the same. But just being there that year, it changed my mindset a little bit because, I almost hung up my cleats. I was pretty much done with it until I got a phone call one day. They asked me, would I be willing to come out and try out for the team. For me, I was like, well, if it don't go in my favor, it'll be my last go around. I'm gonna hang up my cleats, probably go into a coaching career. But it worked out, and I still get to play football. And, Winnipeg showed me a lot of love, so now I just re-signed with a new team this year, the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Very excited to be back in May, get that season rolling. But making the All-Star team, man, it showed me that I still, got some juice in me. I can still play a little bit.
Yeah, man. Just you're talking about it, and right now, here, in the U.S., we're going through NFL free agency. What kind of walk us through just a little bit of that process and how Saskatchewan was able to get you in there for this next coming season.
Well, it was more like when the season ended this past season, I missed the last 3 games due to injury, and so I guess that kind of made the team want to go in a new direction, which was cool with me. Right. At the end of the day, I understand it's business. Like I said, because my idea, I wasn't even going to play no more after 2016. And so the process for me was fairly easy. I signed within the first, second day of free agency. Saskatchewan gave me a call. I guess it was kind of one of those things they wanted to know about my personality because of the way I play on the field. My field play and the way I am every day is totally two different people. And I think, if people don't know football, they'll look at me as a football player and think I was just some mean, nasty guy. But at the end of the day, man, I'm just a cool guy. I love to play football. I play it with a passion. So for me going to Saskatchewan, it was an easy transition for me.
Yeah, that's awesome, and definitely happy for you down there. You're making a name for yourself, and that's just sensational. So I know in your time in Winnipeg, did you play with any former Tar Heels? You did play with Brian Walker, correct?
Yes, I did. Me and Murn, TJ Thornton, he eventually went to and Kushan Davis was there. And Marquise Williams is actually in Saskatchewan now. So I saw him on the other side, and this year we'll be playing together again, just like old times in Carolina. Yeah,
man. Yeah, that's just awesome. So, I asked, I interviewed Jay Stackhouse last night, and I asked him if State is our rival. He said no. What's your answer for this? Is State our rival, or is Duke our only rival, in your opinion?
I would say State, honestly, because honestly Duke is a rival too. But in my mind, from playing in those games and that competition and that in the state of North Carolina and football. Now basketball is a different story. That's just how we hate Duke. Now don't never get that wrong. I hate Duke with a passion. I can say nothing about Duke. But there's also a State. And I definitely hate State with a passion. But in football, it's State. It's just the two opposite of colors. You got Carolina blue, which is a beautiful color. Then you got red. We all know what red stands for. So at the end of the day, State is definitely our rival to me, more so in a football mindset.
All right. Yeah, definitely, man. Last thing I want to ask you, really just. Yeah, that's on. Got everything sorted out there?
Yeah, I think he might have lost call or something. He called back. I just called back them though.
Okay. All right. So, the last thing I was going to ask you, I read a story last night just when I was getting myself prepped a little bit, and it said that you got hit by an SUV when you were on campus at Carolina. So just kind of walk us through that and just that amazing story of how you were able to, overcome that and still play football today.
Oh, man. It happened back in 2012, and I was on my way to a study hall, and I was driving my scooter, a little black nitro scooter, and I guess some guy, it was about 5 people in the car, and when I was crossing the light, I think it was the Stone Center, the name of the building I was by, and there was a little light, and I crossed the highway. And as I was coming down the street, the car was on the wrong side, and I stopped. And then they stopped. It was so weird. And then when I went on drive, I said maybe they just tripping or something. I just started back driving, Then they ended up on my side of the road, hit me head on, flew in the air, scooter fell on top of me. Because when they hit me, I got hit by the driver's side of the vehicle. And so it was a big dent on the side of the truck. And when I stood up, they drove off.
Dang,
and
man.
come to find out, I get to study hall. And I was laughing about it. That's the crazy thing. I was like, dang, like, they really just hit me. So when I got to study hall, I was telling Terry Shank, I was like, man, I just got hit by a truck. And he was like, what? I was like, yeah. I said, look at my scooter. And like all my friends, all my teammates made me, and the advisors and whatnot, they all made me go to the emergency room. So I got a x-ray and everything that night. Nothing was wrong. So the next day we're in the weight room lifting weights, and when I'm bench pressing, and I told Coach Lou, I said, Coach, my wrist feels funny. And went back and got an MRI, couldn't find out my wrist was broke.
Oh my goodness, man.
Yeah, that's man. It wasn't as bad as they, as I thought it was until I found out my wrist was broke.
Right.
And,
wow.
The accident itself, they never found out who the people was or whatever.
Wow.
So, long as I didn't, lose my life or, nothing tragedy happened, only thing I really had to do was get surgery. Other than that, man, it wasn't too bad, but it was definitely, I haven't been on the scooter ever since.
Oh, man, yeah, I can see why, man. That's some nuts stuff right there. But hey, man, thanks for doing this interview, and hey, good luck for you, man. You wanted any social media you want to throw out there for the Tar Heel fans so they can follow you?
My Instagram is treetop252, all in one word, and my Instagram, my Twitter, the same thing, treetop252. So if anybody wants to give me a follow, I always represent Carolina wherever I go. I always got a sweater, a hoodie, a hat, or something. So if people want to just give me a follow, and I'll add you back, and we'll go from there. Tar Heel Nation, baby.
All right, yes, sir. Yes, thank you very much, man. All right, you take care, all right?
All right, you too.
All right, man.